Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Let me tell you, billionaire lowlife, something. There's nothing in this world more brutal and grotesque than raising children.
You ruined my vagina!
I could never lose the weight after you were born. And look at the veins in my bosom. They're like a road map of Stockholm.
I used to be happy until you. When I started spending all my time with her, and I spent all my beer money on little kids' clothes. That's brutal.
This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my fellow parental units, Lisa.
Sawzall. That means it saws all.
That is what it means. And Nate.
Hashtag inappropriate talk before breakfast.
Hashtag?
Yeah, hashtag. Yeah, if you fully enunciate it, it's cooler for the kids. That's my experience.
Is that what you've learned?
You're not supposed to just go, no one can see
No one
me.
can see that.
I'm doing the hashtag
So you
symbol.
make it the hashtag sign.
No one can
Sorry.
see this.
One day.
Great
So
start.
cool.
It just denotes the need, the bigger need. For
You guys
the
are already
video
demonstrating
podcast.
your parental coolness level. It's the first 30 seconds into it.
We've leaned into this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we debate a horror-related topic and review a horror movie with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually someone we would not classify as a horror fan, but definitely someone we would classify as someone who is easily roped into watching horror movies and discussing them with us.
Yeah, I mean, unsuspecting victims, people who are gullible, 99% Venn diagram. match.
Yeah. Basically, so the way it works is when we find someone, usually it's either at work or out in public or whatever, and then they run away.
Hold on. Out in Mitch is chasing people.
You're going to get us.
Well, I was gonna say,
public.
and then they trip and fall, and then we just bring them back to the studio and we make them watch a movie and do it. So,
Like, this is a flash mob gone wrong. I'll just put him in my van and no one else in public worry about this.
That's a good question, Nate. Flash mobs, are they still a thing? If you got a notice for a flash mob for, let's say, Electric Six, any of them, it doesn't matter which one.
Sounds
If
awesome.
there was going to be an Electric Six flash mob, are you going? Like you get an email from something like Craigslist.
I say yes, but I have no idea what will happen when I get there.
Okay.
But I will go.
Like they're like, hey, we're not preparing, but we're all going to do a flash mob to danger high voltage.
I mean, I'll put like, those.
The address comes from murdernate@murdernate.com.
Wow. Okay.
You're still in.
I mean, I'm in, and I'm also going to bring, those lights, like your front, you can like tap those lights and then like they turn on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put them like out front in your house or somewhere. I just bring that and then I can use it for any potential Electric Six music videos that happen.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
If they need any light up crotches of any kind, I'll be there.
You got them.
If they need light up crotches for anywhere, you're ready.
Electric Six flash mob would probably need that.
Yeah, they probably would.
They
Are
probably
you going to go
would.
for the big glass halogen bulb? I mean,
We've gone way off.
Yeah.
kilter here.
I'm gonna try to manage like the heat dissipation coming off this
my
light
God.
maximally if I can.
Are you going to have the permit? You're going to have like safety forms and everything ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna have the safety.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just go watch Electric Six.
Danger High Voltage.
It's well worth the 3 minutes you'll devote to it.
I would say one of the top 5 music videos ever made.
I mean, it begs to be asked: what else is in there? Very
Did we
quickly.
just start a spin-off podcast?
Did we just become best friends? Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick? What else is on there?
Oh my God.
Top 5 music videos of all time.
Yeah. Well, trust me, we'll be able to still
For me,
fit all this
okay.
in an
For me,
hour.
I'm saying just for me.
Yeah.
Right. Oh shit.
I said quickly. This is the opposite.
quickly. Everlong.
Well, that's surprising for a whole nother set of reasons.
I'm just thinking, which Limp Bizkit one do I pick? I'm done.
Why not just all? So
I'm out
wait,
on this.
so it's Electric Six, Everlong. The rest are filled with Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You shut the fuck up, man.
All right. Well, if y'all are ready, well, I'm sorry, we haven't even announced our unsuspecting victim. That is because we had one. We talked about it. They're gullible. We did have one all lined up, and then right before we started recording, this got up and left, said they got to go pick up their kids.
Wow.
Compulsively, even their kids. I don't know where they are. I didn't know they had kids, so it's strange.
Oh, okay.
Strange. So it's just gonna be us three.
Yep.
So Lisa, you are
Woohoo.
our soul.
I'm so glad I got roped into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a mom and a dad here.
To
I just
review.
want to point that out.
The 2017
It's
/
2018. It came out in January of 2018.
We're gonna fight over this, but it is mom and dad. Sorry, Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. So
Power couple.
yeah,
Power
agreed.
Tools couple.
Oh, nice.
Well, with that said, let's get into this week's debate question.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not, you blaspheme! He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you! No!
Okay, so in this movie, we're gonna get into more details around the premise. I don't want to say too much, but these kids are having to hide from their parents.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if your parents were trying to murder you, or just coming after you, I guess they don't have to murder you, but you're in trouble.
We're preemptively apologizing to people who have been abused by their parents. I'm just going to preemptively say, we're sorry. This is comedic in nature.
Right. Thank you.
I just brought everything down, but I just want to throw that out there.
Thanks for listening to Texas Podcast Massacre.
So what cupboard do you hide under when you're before you get beat? Jeez. Yeah. So in this movie, the kids are trying to hide from their parents at one point. They are hiding in not some of the greatest idea. I think.
What? Oh, I thought they were great.
We'll discuss. I know Lisa at one point was yelling, saying, "That's dumb. Why are you doing that?" Where would you hide? In any kind of situation. So if your parents are coming after you.
Yeah.
Where are you hiding?
You're looking at me.
Well, yeah. Why don't you kick it off?
I'll answer first. So there was one time I did something stupid and I knew.
Just one time?
There's only
Damn
once.
It, she beat me to it. I went to check.
Only once. Only one time. I did something stupid and I was maybe like 14 or 15 and I knew I did something really stupid. And you are locked in, like, I didn't have a car at the time, right? So, like, you can't really go. I mean, you can go to, like, your friend's house or something, but eventually you have to come back. Well, my brilliant...
get hungry, have to go home.
My brilliant strategy was the way that my house was... the way the house was configured is that you could go on the back balcony and actually, like, jump up onto the roof. Mm-hmm. So, like... just to wait out my parents. Like I heard them get home and I was just like laying down on the roof until I came down and then I got yelled at. It was just like I took a small break.
Oh my God.
Just bracing yourself for what was coming.
Yeah, this is a little small, but I mean, like, think about this. Your parents, if you were trying to hide from them, the roof is a great spot. They're not ever gonna see you.
Did they know you were like Did they know you were on the roof or
no?
Did they know about the roof thing? Like,
no.
Did they ever figure out you could go hide on the roof?
No, then I just climbed down onto the...
Well, they know now.
Oh.
I'm okay with it. You can't ground me. I'm on the roof already. I don't know. But yeah, in this movie, that would have been great. If they're on the roof with an easy get backable onto way to get down, like my house had, man, you can hide up there for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, how do you get food or anything like that? Downside, but
I just in our everlasting fight between attics and basements, I would like to point out that your strategy for safety is to go up, not down.
Yeah.
In
that instance, you had more ways to get out. So I went with the
You
roof.
might break a leg, but you could get out.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa, how about you?
Yeah. So when I was little,
Well, my parents were trying to murder me.
right? And
We're cool now, though.
it's all good. We made up. So the way our house was when I was little, I don't know if I told the story or not, but there were 2 sets of staircases. So one you could see from the front door, totally exposed. The other was behind a wall, so it was literally enclosed. And then if you went down, you could get back into the master bedroom. At one point, we turned the master bedroom into a playroom, so that's where my sister and I would play. And so one night, we literally, like, Mom put us down, and then we weren't tired, and so I was like, come on, and we snuck our way upstairs, down the back staircase, and into the playroom, and we were chill, right? We were having fun and whatever. And
is this like a tiptoes sneaking?
Yeah, we had. I mean, you had to be quiet. You couldn't just go stomping down the stairs. But
like you make a creak happen, like no one hears it all, but then you like stop for like 30 seconds. Like,
yeah,
oh shit,
it was very nerve wracking.
Okay,
but I think the TV was also on the living room, so we had a little bit of cover, so it was okay. But yeah, so we're back there for maybe like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden we hear my mom start yelling our names. And she was yelling because she's like, oh my God, someone's kidnapped our children. We thought she was yelling because we were in super, super big trouble. So we like sheepishly came out. We're like, we're right here. We're okay. She's like, oh my God. So yeah, we were pretty sneaky. But that back bedroom and closet had a lot of great hiding spaces. Like when I used to play hide and seek with my cousins when I was little, there's one spot in that master closet I could literally get in there. They never found me. It took a little climbing, like Nate's, but
you gotta climb.
It was a good spot.
So you abused home field advantage in a game against your own siblings, or your own relatives.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
wow.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Okay. What about you, Mitch? Where are you hiding? Everyone's house is different, so you get a whole different vibe. Obviously, my house is the only one with a basement, probably in this area.
So when we moved to Shreveport, there wasn't a whole lot of hiding spots. I think so. In Baton Rouge, though, when I was living there, is like pre 5th grade.
You guys moved to like one of those like micro houses or one of those like.
Yeah, it was my grandmother's house, and it was just small house.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. Those houses.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
like
about.
400 square feet and like everything folds into the wall or something.
Yeah, I know. My mom wants to live in one.
What?
she's like, yeah, that's fine. Just put me in the backyard. I'll go live in one of those things.
Tiny homes.
They're called. Yeah. Well, there's another thing. It's called like the granny hut or something. It's like same concept.
The granny hut.
Yeah. So you bring your parents with you.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like it like connects to your own like your main house's like gas line and water line. Everything. It's
wow.
If you have that sort of backyard space.
If she makes pizza back there, you got a crossover opportunity just waiting to happen. Maybe she's even wearing sunglasses. I mean, literally limitless opportunities.
Jeez. So in Baton Rouge, though, when I would get in trouble, and again, my mom, single mom, working a bunch, so I was always outside playing and everything. And so if I did get in trouble, I knew she would be too busy to really have to try to find me. Like put a lot of, but my house, we're in a big house.
Yeah.
So I would just like leave the house. I would effectively run away without running away.
Okay.
I would go to a friend's house.
You'd like
and act like nothing was wrong. And then my mom would of course call later and be like, is Mitch there? And they're like, yeah, he's like, and they're like, oh, Mitch, your mother called. She says you need to come home right now.
Nice. So you didn't like run away. You like walked away.
Or rode my bike away. Yeah.
Okay. You biked away.
Yeah. The biggest, and what got me in even more trouble, usually when I went to friends, it wasn't a big deal, but like, one time I was in trouble for, I don't remember what, but I walked away from my house and I just walked through all these neighborhoods and ended up down by a 7-Eleven, which is maybe, I mean, at the time it was maybe like a 10 to 15 minute walk like away. It was a bit of distance, but not terrible. But our neighborhood was super like, Baton Rouge. If you've ever been to Baton Rouge, the neighborhood and just the overall layout of the city makes no sense. Like there's no rhyme or reason.
# Louisiana.
Yeah, it was done by LSU grad students who were civil engineers who were definitely and planners who were just like wasted from game day on Saturday and just like it's fine. So I mean I went to 7-Eleven. I like got like a I was just chilling around, hanging out, snacking, and then my mom would eventually find me and got real, or actually I would come home and she would get really pissed.
Okay, so
because I would have been gone for a while.
So in terms of this movie, going to a 7-Eleven is the best way for your parents not to find you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she definitely didn't. She didn't find me there.
So this movie really missed a crossover opportunity. Like this could be a 7-Eleven. Like,
Well, certainly cross
advertisement.
branding for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
you're always looking for sponsors. This episode is sponsored by 7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. Your parents can't murder you here. Imagine Nick Cage. Nick Cage needs money. We can all agree on this, right? Nick Cage. Hey, I'm Nick Cage for 7-Eleven. Slurpees give me the energy to be a batshit crazy person. 7-Eleven. Cue laugh. And then that's it.
I mean, he's got to have paid off those back taxes by now, right? I mean,
I don't think you make as much money doing Season of the Witch as you do doing Con Air. That's just me. I feel like those big paydays are gone.
Or Fu Manchu cameos and Quentin Tarantino.
Exactly. Those are not paying
movies.
as much as like being in the big blockbuster movies he used to be
Oh
in.
man, I am so ready to get into this movie. Is there anything else you want to?
Who won this debate? Not the children. The parents won this one.
Yeah, the parents. Let's be real. In all of our scenarios, I think if our parents had really put in a lot more effort, they probably would have found us all pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. Easily.
This is the parents' equivalent of just
my
like
roof one's good.
$5 says we can ask your mom. She'd be like, "Oh, we knew he was there. We just left him. We just let him sit up there.
Let him sweat."
Yeah. I would not be surprised.
Maybe. I had a book. I was good. Yeah,
I had my IC and my
exactly.
my Starburst. So it was solid afternoon. Popped up on sugar. Came home. Didn't think anything was. I just thought time would just heal all wounds. That is incorrect.
You're like, if I keep eating Starbursts, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Just take one home to mom. Here, mom. We're good, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. You give your mom a piece Starburst. Everything's cool, right?
Hey,
We're
mom.
good.
Hey, mom. I brought you this Laffy Taffy. We're cool, right?
She's like, I'm a saltwater person. How dare you? Mom and Dad's a movie.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, no one wins this one. But with that, I want to talk to you about this Nick Cage masterpiece.
Those are words I would use.
Masterpiece, Mom and Dad.
What is the rush today? It's like we're waiting for a buffet.
What's going on? Is that McKenna's mom?
Multiple reports are now coming in of parents murdering their own children.
Listen to me. We have to get out of the house before Mom and Dad come home. Dad?
Your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the hokey pokey and you.
Hell yes. That's all I got to say.
Let me tell you something. So when we put this on the schedule, this is very. You don't usually have break-ins. It's usually we plan out a month or two in advance.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that ahead of time.
When you told me, we should do Mom and Dad, I was like, what is that?
I hate you.
And I looked up on IMDb and it's Nick Cage, Selma Blair. I didn't look at the trailer. I was like, all in. Had I seen that trailer, I would have lost my shit.
You would have been all in.
Oh my, full house in. Yeah.
I would have been all or out.
Yeah. Even with that trailer, I get a better sense of what the movie is. So Lisa, in your words,
as the unsuspecting victim,
what is this movie about?
One word. Good. Fix that in post. Bullshit.
Okay, so let's strip this out. So describe this movie as succinctly as possible. Bullshit. That's it.
Yeah, done. No, it's some freaky thing. They never explained it. So something causes parents to want to murder their own children. Only theirs, though. And chaos ensues.
Oh, we'll get into it, but they kind of break their own rule. But
Mildly,
yeah.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
They don't Technically. But
And now I have to take offense to that because they explain it pretty well. Some screens have static on them.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than
and
static.
they magically turn on, though. Like, it was
there wasn't.
So what was the episode we were talking about being in Amish country? I guess you're safe there.
That was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Unless Freddy's terrorizing the Amish, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I still
but
think
no
is the better.
TV, so no static, so you're all good.
True. No primetime bitch.
So that's where I would hide.
No, you're saying the Amish don't have Nintendo Power Gloves to be murdered
don't
by
think
Freddy,
so.
too. Dang it.
Okay, so besides bullshit,
Yeah.
So as you kind of mentioned, these parents are going after their kids.
We don't really know why.
We don't
other
yeah.
than static.
Yeah, it's static, and they just kind of there's some thrown around thing about planned obsolescence, and
maybe it's the microwave background radiation from the Big Bang.
I mean, sure,
or it dissipates and makes
any of these are plausible.
Yeah.
Now let's just start there real quick. So does it, before we get into your facts, does it bother you that they don't really have an explanation?
Don't care
for it.
Don't care.
No, and it doesn't bother me because of the very last line of the movie. I don't want to get. I mean, we'll get there, but
okay. Well, cool. So Nate, what can you tell us about this one?
Yeah. So this movie came out in 2018.
17.
2018.
IMDb says 17.
Let me get into my methodology.
Nobody cares.
Here. I say the movie came out when you could actually when a normal person could go see it. So like, yeah, if it's like shown on like,
what do you define as normal?
My
person?
Uncle Fred's Film Festival in 2017, but no one else can normally see it, then I don't.
But this never came out in theaters, right?
It did at a limited run in theaters in January.
Okay.
It's unfortunate we did not get this in Houston.
We did not.
So I think they wanted to do a made-for-TV movie, but then Nick Cage told the director, "I don't do TV. I'm a movie star.
I'm an actor."
There was no way there wasn't a F-bomb in that line.
I know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
And then it had a limited run, and then they sold it to streaming early. So I watched it on Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah,
Hulu.
exactly. So it's on Hulu. This is a tight. So it said 86 minutes, but it was 83 minutes.
It's less,
It was 83 minutes.
The Netflix is like hard pass.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah,
I don't know how these bidding
so IMDb
wars
is a
work.
5.5, but if you look at the stratification, like the proportions of the reviews, it's wild. It's all over the place. The tagline is one of the greatest taglines that's ever existed in movies. They brought you into this world, they can take you out.
Oh, wow. That's actually...
That is one of the greatest taglines we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even like, it's in a league of its own. I looked this up on IMDb, and the movie looks like it was renamed on IMDb to Dad Need Love.
Yeah. Because I tried to look it up, and I was like,
that's bad.
What?
That's a downgrade.
Yeah.
That's going the wrong direction.
No.
So
Yeah.
Mom and Dad is great.
I would rather the Hokey Pokey line stay in there
Sure.
than that.
So the director of this movie is Brian Taylor. For those of you who don't know, he did Crank 1 and 2, which are great movies. I highly recommend. Gamer, not as much. Ghost Rider Vengeance, which is how he got in with that's his Nick Cage connection. That's how he got him in this movie, probably. And then he does the TV series Happy with Chris Maloney, based on the graphic novel.
Okay, yeah.
Which is actually highly rated. So
yeah, Gamer was unfortunate.
Gamer was unfortunate.
We went in with high hopes.
Oh, I didn't. I was right.
You remember that one, Lisa? That's the
I have no idea.
Gerard Butler is getting controlled like a video
Michael C.
game.
Hall,
Yeah.
Dexter is the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when we're like, you can be a VR, like you dial into a VR world, but it's not VR because you're actually
Right.
controlling someone who is
it's an avatar, really.
Yeah, and of course they definitely went the
but that Michael C. Hall dance scene is just gold.
that was their whole trailer. If we start doing these bonus episodes, Gamer may have to
Oh, Gamer. Okay.
be an early entry.
I'm ready to
because-
destroy that movie. So Brian Taylor he does kind of batshit stuff in movies.
Yeah.
I think if he's left to his own devices, he makes like a movie like this or like Crank. And if he's like getting money from like big studios, he goes more to the Gamer route and like intersperses some craziness and like a little bit. But this is definitely getting more on the Crank side than the gamer psychic. That is never a comparison I thought I would ever make. Crank versus gamer, go. The main actor of this movie is obviously Nick Cage. Now, they couldn't get him for a whole lot of time. And so like the beginning of the movie, he is not featured. Like the first half of the movie, he's barely in it. And then the second half he is. So he is going to be in a movie called Mandy this year. It's getting released in theaters this year sometime, from the director of Beyond the Black Rainbow. Okay. If you guys have seen that sci-fi movie. And it is getting great ratings. It's like a grindhouse action-y thriller.
Nice.
So that's definitely something to look into. You might remember Nick Cage from such illustrious films as...
Have you ever seen a movie and then Nick Cage was in it?
Yeah.
Because that is effectively his movie.
If you want to look at every movie ever made and you say Nick Cage, Samuel L. Jackson, you basically have gotten 2/3 of all movies ever made.
On your all's list of greatest over actors, where does Nick Cage sit?
I would say I like Nick Cage's acting for his overacting and his acting. So
and his acting.
Like did I start stuttering? I don't know what happened.
Like, okay, where do you rank him with the likes of a William Shatner?
Oh, he's way better than Shatner.
What about
Shatner do Con Air? No.
Not fair.
No.
What about oh man, I'm blanking on the name. I feel so bad. The guy
Christopher Walken.
Thank you. Jesus.
Christopher Walken. Ooh, Nick Cage has got stronger lead
What if
presence.
Christopher Walken was in this movie? What does that do for
That
this
would have been
movie
great.
to you?
If Christopher Walken was the dad of Nick Cage in this movie,
Kids.
this would be amazing.
Oh,
that would have been
that would've been great.
amazing. Well, why do you differently? Cast
Kids, come out.
Christopher Walken in this movie.
Come out and let's talk.
Let me put it to you this way, Mitch. Who's the better Hook in the live action Peter Pan? Christopher Walken or Nick Cage?
Well,
Nick
shit.
Cage.
Well, so here's the thing. Did you see? We're going on the tangent here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll reel us back in.
gives
That's
a
what
shit?
Nick Cage does to you.
Yeah, we're getting in the cage, everyone. So did you see this, Nate? They did Hook, like Peter Pan live action on NBC. They've been doing all these live action.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah, and he was Hook.
Christopher Walken.
Walken was.
Okay.
Christopher Walken basically was playing Christopher Walken playing Hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And
Okay,
he may or may not have been like drunk or
just straight hamming it up.
Oh,
it was,
completely.
I think here's the problem. I think it's just two different types because Christopher Walken, even when he yells, it's still that kind of laid back, cool, like stoner type.
Oh my
like
God.
loud.
This is crazy.
Even when he's like really like trying to be like, Nick Cage is just like it is weed versus cocaine.
Yeah.
That is truly the difference between the two.
You said meth really weird, like cocaine. That's weird. That's weird how you mispronounced that. That's strange.
It is meth and cocaine mixed.
Yeah.
Laced together. In a symphony of horror.
Yeah.
That is Nick Cage. The Nick Cage
So
verse.
I was watching an interview with Nick Cage, Selma Blair, and the director, and Nick Cage said that this is his favorite movie that he's done in the past 10 years.
Yep, I was that's on my
Sorry,
notes.
Nate.
No, that's fine. No,
you?
it's a good.
But the thing is, he
that's
said two
awesome.
others, and I didn't even know what movies he was talking about.
Do you remember? Or?
I'd have to look it up.
So
again.
other Nick Cage movies, segue, that have been horror themed. 8mm, The Wicker Man remake from 2006.
Hold on.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
I have so many Nick Cage.
For me. That was surprising.
8mm is awesome. It's like actually it's a dark movie.
Yeah.
It's more of a thriller than horror.
It is. I'm reaching here. He obviously played Fu Manchu in the Werewolf Women of the SS Grindhouse fake trailer, which is one of his.
I'm sure Rob Zombie is actually made into a real movie by now.
He should have. He was in Vampire's Kiss, the horror comedy where he thinks he's a vampire and descends into madness.
Is that where the drop "I'm a vampire"?
Yes.
Concert?
Oh, you have not seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
That is something you need to remedy hard.
The problem is if you do a Nick Cage movie marathon, that's a solid month.
Yeah, well, no, you watch the good ones. It's not.
No, you watch them all. They're all good ones.
I just wanted to throw a shout out to the scariest one, and I've actually seen this movie, 2014's Left Behind.
Oh, God.
The most horror-filled movies ever.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm telling you, I have castles. Give me money to support them.
Does he get left behind? Because it would have been better if Nick Cage was in it just for like the first 30 seconds.
Only
Nick Cage is the only one that gets raptured.
Only Nick Cage's dignity was left behind. Let's just say that.
Wow.
The main actress in this movie is Selma Blair. One of her first screen roles ever, well, not screen roles, because she was uncredited as Cece's friend on phone, was Scream 2, which I didn't know.
Oh.
She's in Cruel Intentions, Legally Blonde, the first 2 Hellboys. She's in the Fog remake, so we got a nice horror tie-in there with the guy who was Smallville dude.
Yeah.
And she was Kris Jenner on American Crime.
Oh, that's
story.
right. I forgot.
And her daughter in the film is Ann Winter. She played Carly. She's in 13 Reasons Why, Tyrant. She's coming up in the Night School movie with Kevin Hart. That looks absolutely terrible, but it's coming out. And she was in the 2016 TV movie Cruel Intentions. So boom, crossover.
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, it's like based on the Cruel Intentions universe, I guess. And it is in there. So we got a nice tie-in.
Universe building all over the place, man.
Yeah. The box office for this movie, because it did go into theaters, was $169,000. So that's something.
Not many people want to get in the cage.
And all this, and the film and the school shots were done in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Poor
There you go.
Kentucky.
So let me ask you.
They're like, we'll take the tax breaks from Louisville, and we're there. Thank you.
Yeah. So overall, what did y'all? Lisa, let's start with you. Overall, what did you think about this movie?
I thought I summed it up in my one word summary. I don't know. I guess the premise is new. I just, as a new mom, I couldn't watch a lot of it. It bothered me.
New Mom is the spinoff to New Girl, because didn't New Girl just end? So
Yes, it did.
this is the next show.
I can't watch. I've
Did
got,
you just pitch the sequel?
I just pitched New Mom. Zoe Deschanel in New Mom. Yeah, exactly.
Who's that mom?
Oh
It's
my
me.
God! All right, I gotta pull the reins back.
Yeah.
Nate, what did you think about this movie?
I love this movie. I am a huge fan of the Crank movies. Which
No.
if you like,
for everyone listening at home, the crank count is now at like
I am
8.
cranked up.
9.
I normally am more like, I enjoy like very old films and like obscure films and more art house films. But man, give me like a Crank. Oh my God.
No.
Like I'm just in.
Future baby Nate, you can hide at our house.
Yeah. Well, that you said that, I know where they are. No, I like it. It's I like that there were actual genuine moments. It's not just like insanity for insanity's sake. They get into kind of like the psychology of growing older and the parental relationships with each other, and then their kids, and then their kids grow up and all this stuff. They actually do they tap into some of that and get into that. And I thought that was actually kind of like genuine as part of the movie, which was kind of shocking because, to be honest, you're like, okay, well, this mom just is trying to choke her newborn baby, like give her a sleeper hold or whatever, and mom is stabbing her own kid with scissors, and then they throw that in. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I enjoyed the contrast between this is just some genuinely touching moments and that mom is stabbing her kid a lot. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it worked well together. It was a little jarring, but I
thought it was her keys.
It was her keys.
There's multiple. There's multiple. There were so many people killing. I'm assuming there were some scissors in there.
So
too,
I will say this: if
the keys was intense.
The keys was bad.
That was good.
If you are like Nate and enjoy yourself some good old fashioned child murder,
hey, this is the movie. I didn't realize when I picked this that was going to be the case. I thought it was more focused on that one family. It was going to be like the Purge.
Too.
I thought it was going to be like the Purge. It's in the house and they're dealing with all of it and it's internal. No, this goes wide.
This movie says, "Fuck you, Battle Royale. Fuck you, Hunger Games. Let's show you how to murder some kids.
Let's show you how to take a garbage bag and suffocate your own teenage daughter running on a football field."
What I like, what I loved about this movie is it's such a clever and unique take on a zombie. It's a zombie film. That's really all it is. It's
similar.
Even the scenes that they shot where it's all the parents sitting around the schoolyard,
that was
where
good.
they just storm. They have even the security guards are the police officers are we've got to protect the barrier. The stuff at the hospital. Where the dads are all like standing around the nursery looking, like
I would say it's even
more
more intense though, because then they can still communicate and still like try to lure you in even more creepy.
Well, and there's an end point, but like I said, it's a zombie movie, but it's an interesting, very clever take on it. So we've talked about the premise, and I kind of wanted to ask the one question I had is, for kids that you are 100% sure this is your mom and dad, you're boned. Some kids though are going to survive this by being like they're going to be being like orphan, like the orphanage, untouched.
Yeah, the orphan.
Oh, true.
The orphan Annie.
Little Annie's gonna survive.
Bet your bottom dollar Annie will be alive tomorrow.
My God.
That's all I gotta say. Not gonna get stabbed tomorrow. Put your keys away.
Oh, that needs to be the next video parody now.
Or this is how you find out you're adopted, huh?
Right. Oh man.
Wow.
Like
there's so many good scenarios that are locked into this.
So here's the thing. If you're sitting there and you're seeing your friends getting murdered by their parents, but like your parents are just like, so you want to play Scrabble or Yahtzee?
Yeah, backgammon.
Are you pissed then? Like, I mean, like what?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to murder me?
Yeah, like why? I don't know why he's upset that we're not murdering him. Okay, honey, we'll come murder you this evening. Like,
there was a crucial scene missed, and there's a great scene with the giving birth scene. Fantastic, because they're giving birth like at the beginning of the movie. Oh, that's a normal occurrence, right? I'm gonna go with my sister when she has her kid and be supportive. And then once the shit goes down, you're like, oh my God, it didn't click until like they're in the hospital. You're like, oh my God, this is gonna be terrible.
No, it clicked for me way earlier.
Did it click way? Okay, I guess you're more sensitive.
Has she had the baby yet? I said, oh God, there goes the baby.
So I think if you've been listening to the show for a while, and if you have, quick plug for us, please go give us a rating on like iTunes and Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to us.
Please tell us how much you hate Nate's picks.
Yeah. If you love child murder, please make sure to let Nate know. If you don't, please also let Nate know.
Wow.
But don't let that impact your rating. We do want to hear from you. That said, if you've listened to us for a while, you know that Nate is pro child murder in his horror films, and Lisa not so much.
There's a difference between not being anti-child murder and being pro-child murder. That's a distinction I would like to make. That's all I'm going to say.
But only in your horror films, right?
That's all.
I feel like we got to lay this out.
Yeah, not in real life.
Okay.
I'm anti-child murder generally.
The listeners don't know us for real.
The jury's still out on that. I mean, in any case.
I was waiting for the scene in this movie, though, where like the kid who's like never seen their dad, or like their dad left like a long time ago. The dad comes back home and like the kid runs to them and just gets murdered.
That's terrible.
I was waiting for that to happen.
That would have been great.
I know.
I will just, I'm going to come back to my point.
Let me just say, I'm pro-children. Okay.
Okay. Well, no.
Pro-children.
Other item. What if this is Arkansas? Is your brother going to kill you now because he's also your dad?
So in Arkansas, it's like you got to keep your head on a swivel everywhere. You're in a small town in Arkansas. Anyone, it could be, that's my uncle. I'm safe. Are you?
I should have saved that for my sequel.
Are you safe?
Redneck mom, like hick mom and dad.
No, we can go more into it. I would keep that.
All right. So I will say this. So again, back to my earlier point. Lisa, we're watching this movie, and the very opening scene is this mom leaving her car with her kid in the car on a train track, and the train hits it as she's running away. And I've never seen Lisa so quickly say, fuck this movie, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then say, fuck Nate for bringing this movie up. We literally we did not hit a minute mark. No. It was 42 seconds in this film.
You think that'd be a record for me? No. No. I've had sooner.
It was.
People have told me sooner, Nate, I hate you for making me watch this movie.
So let's talk about the characters. So there's not a whole lot of major characters. There's really Nick Cage and his family.
Boyfriend, and a friend,
a friend, and then there's some random people at the school. Were there any characters that stuck out to you that you either liked or just that you enjoyed in this movie? Lisa, we can start with you.
The grandparent.
Because
it was that critical moment, because you forget. They mentioned it at the beginning. grandparents are coming for dinner. They don't mention it again. And then they're like, oh my gosh, your grandparents are here. And the second they said, I was like, oh, Nick Cage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This movie, it played with you.
That as much as I hated most of this movie, that was well done.
That was
because I was like, you're still somebody's son.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that to me was to do it the generationally, and I guess it didn't transfer to the grandkids, right? They loved their grandkids,
just biological, straight up.
Yeah, that was. Okay, yeah, I agree because I forgot about the dinner thing.
Yeah,
I didn't until I was cutting the trailer.
Imagine if that was Christopher Walken, though. Oh,
that would have.
He can't do He can't do even like
this movie would have made
scenes.
billions if Christopher Walken had
billions. No. My favorite character was
Lisa. You want to get in on your bad Walken impression? So
I already
all
did
three
it
of us.
earlier. You didn't hear it?
Oh, then we're good. All three of us have gotten a bad Walken impression.
Yeah.
We're solid. I love the teacher. He's not in this for very long, but there's this one teacher who is like
the one who takes their phones.
Oh my god,
this teacher was great.
He is just the best. There's nothing really that he does necessarily. I just like.
Well, I mean, he basically gets a teenager in trouble by texting her from another teenager's phone mid-class.
Yeah, how did you not just see that he took your friend's phone?
Because they're on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
She wasn't paying attention.
Kids these days. You're gonna have to deal with. You guys are gonna have to deal with that shit.
Hey, did you say who was your favorite?
No, my favorite was the daughter.
Okay.
She was the self-centered phone person in the class. Once stuff got real, she became much. The bond between her and her brother became super tight, and unlike in most movies, she was actually fairly smart.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll get into that a little bit. There's some Home Alone-esque scenarios that kind of formed.
Yeah.
Based on her like thinking ahead and being
it took
smart.
Her way too damn long though to realize there was gas coming in. I don't know why this is happening.
But what I'm saying is good recoveries, good recoveries, good survival instincts, and helping the brother out.
Yeah.
So I liked her quite a bit.
So which of these scenarios are you most pissed about if you're a kid? Because I'll tell you, if I was one of those kids that have been taking the PSATs and I had studied my ass off, and then my parents were like, "You're down," I'd be like, "What the hell? I've been working my ass off to come take this test."
Yeah, wait till I get the results first.
Jeez. Or at least do it so I didn't have to take the test. You make me suffer here for 4 hours and then you come?
Wow, teenagers all about them. Okay.
They're pretty much.
It's all about them. I just want to stab you as a family, and you're making it about you.
Yeah,
okay.
so let me ask you. So we're in this movie, the kids are basically at schools, the school and a test center.
Yeah.
And then I guess just
when the static makes the parents want to kill their own children.
Where
biological children.
The school, let's talk about the school. I think is more interesting. Okay. The school's idea was to hit the alarm to get all the students out in open.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, because I feel like it just fed the bloodlust.
That was a mistake.
And why did that kid jump the fence?
Don't you usually go into lockdown? Usually go into a lockdown scenario, not a like a. It's almost like they were like, it's like, oh yes, like school's out early. Like, oh, this is sweet. Yeah. Everyone's just going to like a thing. It was real
confusing.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
And I get the kid that was scared, and that's why he jumped over the fence. Which dumb move.
There's like a million people like running up against the fence. Why would you go into that? Like that just sounds like a nightmare.
But I just feel like they created panic for the students. Like, what was the point?
Okay, Mitch, this batshit crazy crank directed Nick Cage yelling vehicle didn't have great school logic. Okay, fine.
I'm just saying
we'll give it to you on that one, Mitch.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I've got to be the voice for the people that want to know these things.
Okay.
I want some.
All you school administrators out there at TX Pod Massacre. Let Mitch know you are supporting him.
Yeah. I mean, help me,
Mitch is
validate.
Mitch is pro less doors. Apparently, that's his strategy. I would say that.
I mean, if the kids were all trying to murder the parents, then it would be fine. That's all you gotta do. Give them the same static.
Lisa, I have a question for you. There is a scene in the beginning of the movie where the mom is like, her daughter is just on the phone and she's not communicating with her, and she's talking back and she's saying she's basically like has a worthless life. Is this your worst nightmare for your kid growing up? Like that conversation?
Mitch, what did I do? when we saw that scene? Do you
Thank
remember?
God I don't have girl. Is what?
No.
Scene?
I turned to him and I said, "I'm afraid this is
that's
what
right.
my
Right? That's
On that part, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
good.
This movie, I think, hit on nerves that are like,
It really
it's
did.
very like this is
the
possible
part
and scary from a parent's point
where
of
they
view.
said we used to be. See, I don't even know their
Best
names.
friends, yeah. Carly.
No. Where Nick Cage and Selma Blair said we used to be. What's their names in the movie?
I don't know. Nick Cage and Selma Blair.
Kendall and I don't know, Greg or Barry or I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. They're like, we used to be Kendall and Barry, and now we're just mom and dad.
Oh yeah, and
like,
that was that's when the
damn.
title of the movie came out. It was good. We are turning you onto this movie, Lisa. Your ranking is rising.
It touches a parent nerve. I'll tell you. I feel like if I had seen it before I had kids or a kid, then it would have looked. I mean, I still would have hated it, but it would have been a different perspective.
Yeah, I still feel like the hospital scene would not have been
None of it.
Okay, let's just get in this hospital scene. Let's get into it. His name is Brent, by the way.
Oh, Brent, fine.
It was
Close
like
enough.
The hospital scene is Selma Blair sets it up. Her sister's having a kid. She's going to lend support. Is that how your guys' scenario worked out?
So
it was just me and Mitch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, are you bringing in other people to like?
No, but a lot of people do.
Do they do that? Oh,
Some people
a lot
do.
of people do.
Yeah,
Which is
asking for
weird.
a friend, not myself.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people bring in sisters or.
Yeah, and I even commented, now that we've gone through the experience, I was like, man, I don't recall wearing robes and like the hospital gowns and all that too.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't bring a camera with a weird Busta Rhymes fisheye.
Yeah, that was
lens
weird.
To really
I need to get
all in there.
when the baby comes out, I need a wide angle on the.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But anyway, then they hand the mom the baby, and the mom starts basically trying to choke the baby to death, like just by grabbing it like hard, like closing the arms. How did that make you guys feel?
Are you my therapist now?
Yeah. How did that make you feel? Also, you have to pay me. How did that make you feel?
I mean, that was about the 10th time I was like, I'm going to turn off this movie.
Was this the
least.
worst? Was this the worst? I'm trying to gauge comparatively. to
I
the other
saw
child
it coming.
murder. Okay.
So it wasn't shocking to me because I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And the child is saved by an intrepid doctor cutting the umbilical cord so that it can escape.
Yeah. Here's the
away.
thing.
That was crazy.
You've proven me wrong so many times. In fact, recently in several movies, which I don't want to say much more than that for spoiler reasons.
Wow. Very big of you.
Yeah, right. I will say, Nate, up until this, I used to be able to hang my hat on these movies when I was getting Lisa to event watch one every now and then before we did the podcast by saying, look, they don't ever really kill the baby.
Yeah.
Like, it's always
I've ruined that for you.
It's all, there are several, like, the only times it's ever happened are like ridiculous movies like Feast and things like that, or Feast 2,
it barely
where it's
counts.
just like,
That barely counts.
who cares? That baby was like a prop,
Yeah.
It was not a character or a person. No, shit's gotten dark lately. So,
The director said when they were filming that scene, the first version's actually much, much more gruesome. And then they realized they had to scale it back. And the other thing they said for emphasis is they wanted to make sure that the baby was not CGI. So that is a real actual baby.
That's why they did it with like the hugging move instead of like
Yeah.
anything actually like
Yeah.
sharp or whatever. But no, the cutting of the umbilical cord, like, and then it like sprung some Blair and the child sprung away.
Yeah.
Was good. And then all of the parents, like, the incubators or whatever, are outside like looking murderously at the kids.
Yeah,
that was
really creepy.
It's creepy. Yeah, like as creepy as any sort of zombie movie or anything.
That's
like,
probably
as
the
creepy.
scene of all the scenes in this movie. That's probably the scene that stayed with me because it was just well shot, well done, and very like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that was nuts.
So favorite scenes in this movie before we get into the ending.
Ooh, favorite.
Do you have a favorite scene from this movie?
I wasn't expecting favorite.
I'll say this for me, it was such a random sequence, but Nick Cage getting the pool table and then dismantling the pool table with a sledgehammer after he'd been like going nuts trying to get level. Because I gotta tell you, all the stuff we have in the studio now, I have used the leveler and I feel like I never can get it. It's like the Rick and Morty situation. It's like you'll never know what real evenness is until you step on this board.
Yeah.
Like you're using a bubbly primitive.
Well, and you know that wasn't scripted. You know Nick Cage just
Nick
destroyed it on
Cage.
his own.
Can we all? Are we all in agreement that Nick Cage didn't read the script for this movie?
No.
No.
They said, you're trying to kill your kids. Great. Love it.
Gotcha.
I'm going to start yelling at people. That's it. Oh, you want to put cereal on my face? Go for it. I'll stand still and then I'll keep yelling. Just point me and I will start yelling at someone.
Yeah, I don't think they told him the kid was going to throw something at him, and that was a true Nick Cage reaction.
But the thing is that you're missing about that scene, Mitch, is that there's an argument between the parents. Again, this is getting into the interpersonal relations of this family. Yeah. But the Hokey Pokey thing from the trailer we played earlier.
Yeah.
Not only does he smash the thing he just spent copious amounts of time on, he does it while singing the Hokey Pokey.
Yeah.
While singing the Hokey Pokey.
As one
only
does.
Nick Cage could make this work.
Right. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
It totally works.
Totally. If it was anyone else, you'd be like, this movie sucks. But Nick Cage is like, this is incredible. Genius.
I just want to say that a scene that I did not like was that Dr. Oz was in this.
I even commented that.
What is Dr. Oz doing in this movie?
I was like,
stop
he's not
being a person. Just go away.
Who was asking Dr.
Go
Oz?
to Oz. Yeah. Go away to Oz. We don't want you here.
He's probably Nick Cage's doctor in real life.
Probably. He's like, you need more animal hearts. Like, that's probably his advice. Here's like these acai pills and some more whatever.
Jesus.
Who gives a shit?
Lisa, did you have a favorite scene?
Yeah, I got to go back to the grandparents. The second that they opened the door, because I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but it did not click for Nick Cage that his parents were coming. So he just opens the door, gets maced and stabbed. And then one of the best lines of the movie, Dad, you're killing me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite scene was probably the Home Alone moves. So the kid, there's a lot of like someone says something and it like doesn't register until a little bit later in this movie, which was like, but in like it's not like an obvious, like they're trying to like they're trying to trick you, right? It's more of this is going to be important later. So the kid says, I want to grab my backpack. Well, he had stolen the dad's gun and put it in his backpack, but we don't know that, right? But then it makes sense. So he uses that to shoot his own mom. Love it. Fantastic. Yeah. They lock the door. Basement. I wrote in my notes, basement's refuge of the innocent, because totally saves their life.
Except that they're getting gas pumped in there.
Well, then the parents decide to gas them from the spigot coming from the wall, from the stove, to gas them. That was also smart. But then the piece de resistance here is that not only did they escape through the air vent, they put matches on the bottom of the door, left it unlocked, and then when they opened it, everything exploded.
Yeah.
Money. This is what Home Alone.
Unlocked.
This is what Home Alone.
Sawzall to saw all.
This is what Home Alone should have been. I want a Home Alone 4 with like people exploding people. That's kind of the movie that I want to see.
He didn't do enough damage to the sticky bandits for you.
You know, when we did the Saw episode, we'll have to save for another Saw episode, but there is that theory about Macaulay Culkin being.
Yeah, Kevin McAllister is Jigsaw.
Yeah. We need to look through that in depth.
Yeah.
All right,
he gets cancer from like defective shaving cream.
Probably all that lead paint in the New York house that he's dropping.
Oh, that's true.
Probably all the lead paint. So the very end of the scene, I want to get through that quickly so we can get to our final segments. The kids do, with the help of the grandparents, even though the grandparents do get killed. They end up knocking out their mom and dad, and they tie them up in the garage. And there's a long, heartfelt kind of scene of, Mom and Dad, I love you. And the mom saying, I love you too. And then Nick Cage gets to end on a Nick Cage line, which is, yeah, but sometimes we just want to, and then it cuts.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this ending?
So you would think in a movie like this that it would resolve like, oh, like the static on the screen was an attack or something or whatever.
Sure.
No, they do not resolve it. Sometimes you just want to kill your kids.
Even your favorite movie, The Happening, they sort of explain that the leaves did it.
The plants are fighting back.
I was really hoping the plants were going to do it.
God, if the plants could make the static, that'd be so good.
And then we have a Happening crossover. Marky Mark, Nick Cage.
Yeah. I just want Nick Cage. I don't care about Marky Mark. I just want
and
Nick
Zooey
Cage.
Deschanel. We're right back to it. Yeah.
Like I just want like a wind to hit Nick Cage's face, and he makes like 100 facial expressions with no dialogue. Like I just want to see that. Is that possible?
Oh, no, not the bees!
Yeah.
Not the bees!
Did the bees do it? To guard
Oh
against all the colony collapses are happening, and the bees fight back.
Oh,
Good job, bees.
Yes.
yeah.
I love this ending because it's just like the tagline. You know, there's parents out there that've been like, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
You know, there's parents be like, oh, I love you, but sometimes, I could just, so.
Lisa turned into a Southern black woman. What just happened?
Apparently.
What just happened?
But, I mean, it's a thing that's been said. So I thought it was a really good way to end it.
It was good. It was great.
Did you like it, Mitch, or not?
I'm
really?
just wondering if that's how you talk with Ethan around that.
Your kid's gonna be like, your kid's first word's gonna be "sir." I say "sir." Like that's gonna be the first word
It's
your
gonna be
kid
foghorn, leghorn.
I say.
I'm gonna sit on you. That's fat. That's Michael Klump.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ending was okay. I'm kind of in between. I do agree with you, Lisa. I would have liked a little bit more of a resolution, but it didn't bother me. It was fine. It ended. That it's not a phase.
Yeah. It seems like it's permanent. The cage rage will stay permanently. And
that's never going to go away.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, but in the continuity of this movie, the cage rage stays forever, which is important. The one scene I wanted to one little segment I want to talk about before we get to the next segment. The parents, Nick Cage's parents come over.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cage gets stabbed how many times? Like 10 times?
Roughly, because he gets stabbed in the back of the leg a lot when he's stuck in the car.
like in the sides a couple times. He gets stabbed about, I would say, maybe 8 times.
Yeah.
By his dad. There's a whole car thing. And again, there's a flashback with the car. His dad had the car.
Mm-hmm.
He had ruined it. In the first 9 minutes, there was like a guy driving in a car with a bunch of naked breasts on his face. Ties into the story. Again, these things all tie in.
I like how 2 became a bunch.
Yeah, a bunch.
A
bunch.
Just a bunch.
And there's a car, and then he had to pay. There's a story about he had to pay his dad back for the car, and he rebuilt the car, and he loves the car. Then the car is happening. This crazy thing, he's getting stabbed. The car ends up coming out of the garage, and it hits his mom, and then it slow motions her like over the top of the car, and then Nick Cage looks and goes, "Mom." As the slow motion. God. So good. Yeah. Oh, everyone watch this movie.
Yeah.
Watch this movie.
Well, so I guess I want to ask y'all, what would you have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
I'd like to jump in first, if I may.
Oh, here we go.
So one character we haven't talked about is the boyfriend much. This boyfriend,
what a badass.
He survives his own dad trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he goes to save his girlfriend, stands up to the girlfriend's father, which is a scary situation for most teenage boys.
Yeah, imagine,
without them trying to murder your girlfriend.
So she's a sophomore, he's a junior.
Yeah.
So he's 17.
No.
Imagine you're a 17-year-old kid getting full cage rage at you.
Yeah.
And you just stand there and take it. That's courage.
Tough.
That is courage, I would say.
He gets knocked out numerous times. I think,
but he got up again.
Yeah, he did. He chumbawumbled that situation. Yeah. He was tub thumping all over the place.
He got thumped a few times for sure.
He got a clothes hanger in the cheek at one point.
I mean, that was a good scene.
Good is.
It was a reverse Michael Myers in Halloween 1.
Yes.
Well, the killer was in the closet with the coat hanger.
There you go.
Oh, so good.
So I would just say if I'm him, one, I'm going to try not to get knocked out so much. Okay. I think that's just what I would do differently. Maybe stop taking shots to the head. Number 2, though, would probably just be maybe just get another girlfriend. Here it is high school. You're going to presumably have, now your parents are dead. The rest of your life to,
Dude, you killed your own father.
Well, no,
you need to hold on to something.
His father killed himself.
Whatever.
He tripped.
Whatever. Your father's dead. You basically killed him.
I'm just saying
with a good reason. I'm just saying you got to hold on to something.
I'm just saying that you know that your girlfriend's dad has cage rage. You've got to assume one, you know that's going to have to come back at you at some point, regardless of if this whole situation's happening. Two, that's probably genetic.
He was down for the. He was down for the cage match. Is all I got to say.
He was ready for. He definitely got in the cage.
Lisa's eyes just sprayed. Lisa's eyes spraying from rolling so hard.
Lisa, what are you doing now?
If I'm the big sister, I am not debating with my little brother if we should leave, shouldn't leave, whatever. I'm grabbing him and we're getting the heck out and we're taking the housekeeper's car. I don't care.
That's good.
No.
Because the second that she left, I was like, now how are you going to get away? So I was like, grab him. If he wants to grab the backpack, fine, and get out. He's not, I mean, he was a 10-year-old kid. She could have easily just carried him, or the boyfriend could have grabbed him and they could have gone the heck out.
That's true.
Agreed. Nate.
That's a good one. I mean, in a perfect scenario, what would I do differently? I mean, just not have parents that are around. Problem solved. Or be an orphan, as you said earlier.
Be Batman. Always be. It's like that meme. If you can be Batman, always be Batman.
So Batman, is the perfect superhero for this occasion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even for Robin too, because he's not gonna murder Robin. Robin's family's dead, and
you know what? Fine. I'm gonna go. My what would I do differently is also the boyfriend. The boyfriend gets stabbed with a coat hanger through the face. He got thrown down from the upstairs to the downstairs, and he got straight up knocked out by Nick Cage right before that. So he's been basically injured 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unconscious for a long time, probably is brain damage, because if you're unconscious that long, that's not great. But when he gets stabbed, eventually he makes the comeback and knocks out Selma Blair with a shovel.
Yeah.
Thereby saving them.
Don't call it a comeback, Nate.
Don't call it a comeback. What I would have called it is, if I was him, and his face is all jacked up, with like the crazy lines all over his face. If I would have hit Selma Blair with that shovel, I would have said, "Why so serious?"
Oh my God.
Put a smile on that face.
I'm making a note real quick.
Done. That's what I would have said. Mic drop. That girlfriend is yours forever. Like you locked it in. That pithy line locks you in for life. Other than the saving of the life, I guess. Also. So
we're talking life. Let's talk sequels.
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
Nate, I'm going to jump right on your idea.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I know. I like to be more reserved and wait for my turn.
You're Nick Caging right now.
I am.
You're getting right into it.
Yeah, this is my mecca. I'm going to go off your idea. I have multiple ideas for sequels.
Yeah.
From just Nick Cage,
We're going to have a 3-way with a Declaration of Independence.
Easily writes itself. But what I'm definitely going to go with is, what if this is the prequel to Batman? What if in your case, he becomes the Joker, the girlfriend becomes Harley Quinn.
Oh, shit.
And then the only people left are orphans, 2 of which are Batman and Robin. Well, maybe not Robin at this point, but
wow.
I mean, this is basically what Fox's Gotham is all about, I think.
Okay.
I stopped watching after a couple seasons, so maybe it kind of changed, but
wow.
What if Scarecrow is just he's broken down from his parents trying to murder him, and that's why he's insane?
Well, his parents are like,
what if Scarecrow is the one that caused all the parents to kill each other?
Because his parents were scientists that experimented on him.
But
Yes. Greenlit.
Done. All right.
What is it called? Hold on. No, you can't get away.
It's called Gotham.
Nah. This is Gotham? That's what it's called?
What? No. What's a? I'm trying to think of a good Nick Cage pun that would work for Batman.
So people were saying, "Oh, well, Nick Cage was supposed to be Superman, hilariously bad Superman, like Kevin Smith Superman."
Yeah.
What if he would then in the future end up being in a Batman movie? That would be sweet. Like he comes back as a villain because they don't die; they're still around. In this universe, he could be a villain later on.
No.
Wow. He's the salesman or something. I don't know. Some bullshit.
Oh my God. Lisa, what?
The pool shark.
The pool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
Done. Lisa, what's your sequel?
Revenge of the Kids. And that's literally the title of the
Revenge?
movie.
Oh, it's like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, but Revenge of the Kids.
Okay.
They all band together to stop whatever the hell's going on.
Have you seen
It?
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
This is a prequel to a lot of things, apparently.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie where there's the island of children that murdered all the adults and the tourists go there and then the kids
Children
come
of
after
the
them?
Corn?
No, it's on like an island. I forgot the name
Lord
of
of the
it.
Flies?
No. It's like it's an island of. It's more modern than that. It's more modern than that.
No.
Okay, there's already kind of been a situation like that. Okay.
Sorry, again.
Also Children of the Corn.
We don't follow a lot of children murder.
No, this is the reverse, though. This is the
children
reverse. The
and murder
children
are in
okay. All right.
we stop. So,
well, the direction of the murder is important, I think.
What's yours, Nate?
My sequel to this is so. Let's assume that the staticky, the microwave, cosmic background radiation, never goes away. Let's say that the parents are always going to go after their kids, right? So if you assume that, there can be tons of movies in this vein. But like, I want to see what happens with this kind of scenario, but in other places.
Okay.
So we're in California somewhere. There's like, it's this like middle class town or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see how like the ultra rich do this. Like this could be Purge-esque levels of world building.
Once again, the Amish doing well. Maybe some Sri Lankan islands somewhere are just fine.
The Sri Lankans got it. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah. Anyone who hasn't been obliterated by a volcano in some island yet is probably.
Wow.
So I wasn't really going to go to Sri Lanka. That could be a later sequel.
Sorry, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I was going to go with like the ultra rich. So I was going to go with something like
Beverly Hills.
That's where I want to be.
Beverly Hills. The Beverly Hillbillies trying to kill their children would have been good. No, I was going to
I'd pay for it.
I was thinking more of something like the movie I was envisioning. So like The Purge.
Yeah.
Except like they lock you in. But you have like way bigger area to work with and way more toys.
River Oaks.
Yeah, you're in River Oaks. You're River Oaks in Houston, the Richie Rich area. You have like you put the blast shields down, the kids can't escape, and it's like a cat and mouse game.
So basically, you want to watch the Bush family basically go after each other.
The Bush family?
Yeah, George H.W. He gets spikes on his wheelchair. And
I was going to say,
oh my God,
he's got to really outfit his wheelchair at that point. I mean, this is
pretty cool.
Be
pretty cool.
Gonna be
All right, I think that's going to lead us into
Final cut.
Hold on. Did the first George Bush? Did he put that pretzel on his son on purpose to try to choke him to death? Are we going backward now in time? Retroactive?
Is it going to be mom and dad time jumpers now?
Yeah.
I like it.
Quantum dad. And then you just go from there.
All right, Nate, what do you give this movie?
I liked this movie.
Oh, really?
I liked it. The genuine moments and the conversation in the car that I wrote in my notes, like, I bet Lisa's heart is breaking right now. Like that.
Yeah,
it was so good. The
bad.
conversations about how they used to be their own people. And I mean, whenever you hear Nick Cage say, "I have a cream cheese ass."
Yeah, that was.
I'm in on that. That's good. Everything ties back. It all kind of, other than the ending it leaves it open, but everything in the beginning of the movie ties back nicely. I really enjoyed it. There are some solid lines. Now, let's just say this. There is some interesting dialogue in certain parts. A lot of it's good, but some of it's bad. And some of the acting in the beginning of the movie specifically is pretty rough by almost everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to give it 7 out of 10 delivery room doctors.
Nice.
I liked it quite a bit. I was thinking about Nate, and I was like, I don't know.
I'm going all in.
You're going in?
8 out of 10 Sawzalls.
Wow.
And let me tell you why. This movie, again, I had low expectations, so maybe that's part of it.
Can I say one more thing? I wrote unhinged Cage. He says a thing where he says mouth to dildo, dildo to ass, ass to ass.
Yeah.
This isn't a conversation with him and his daughter. This is full Cage.
He's telling the boyfriend.
Oh, the boyfriend. Sorry,
Yeah.
about the daughter. Yeah.
Just about
full Cage.
Just about, yeah. I mean, yeah, he did not. That was not written.
It was that's what I'm saying. Like this was a vehicle for him to do all that cool stuff.
Agreed.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go for 8 also.
There you go.
Fuck it. We're bumping.
Coming into the deep end.
This is
the water's fine.
This is as good as like all of the classic horror films we've had.
The higher y'all go, the lower I go.
But I'm gonna tell you, again, for all the things we've mentioned, I love that it's a clever take on a zombie movie, and I love zombie movies in general. It does have a little bit of a grindhouse, kitschy sort of like over the top quality, but without it actually being over the top. Without it being so just ridiculous, right? I mean, really, the most ridiculous thing is just Nick Cage, but that going in, it's Nick Cage. Everything else, though, relatively restrained in terms of gore. So if you don't like gore, this really isn't.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Outside the face scene, there's really not a lot. It's very restrained. It's done well enough that you get the deal without it being. The other thing too, I just liked about was just this view of the parents going through their life, like going to like the yoga classes, talking about just getting older, the subtle, not intended, but still happened racism of, suburban housewife, right? Because she's like, they make the Chinese, the Vietnam joke when the grandparents coming in, and she tells the housekeeper, who also murders her daughter there, they're like, "Oh, he didn't mean that." She goes, I'm Chinese.
I'm not Charlie.
I'm not Charlie.
Chinese,
I'm Chinese, not Charlie.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. Because she even looks like, well,
yeah,
just little things like that. The writing. I just appreciated a lot of those kind of little details. So 8 out of 10. Sawzalls.
You can. It didn't take much. You convinced me also.
Lisa,
let's bring it up.
For the
10 out of 10. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know, because here's the problem. Whatever I say, Nate's going to go, "Oh, you thought it was better or worse than The Omen?" Because apparently I'm never going to get away from that rating. We need to redo that episode.
You can't. We should do the remake, and then your review will actually make sense. No, it'll make sense because that remake is way worse.
We'll
That's awesome.
let you do your final cut for the original, and then we'll just replace the new one, the remake, with what you said originally about The Omen. Go ahead.
I'm between a 3 and a 4 Nick Cages because this movie has Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, what? You got to get a little bit more.
A little bit more what?
Like, give me you can't just do just Nick Cages. Like, give me Cage what?
Wait, did Nick Cage bring it up or down?
Oh, he brought it up.
Okay. So
do my drop.
That's high praise.
I was gonna wait till the end.
God.
I was gonna wait till the end of your review and then drop
sorry.
it. No, you're fine.
So do we get to vie for do we get to help you decide if it's a 3 or a 4?
I don't know. It had its moments. It has classic Nick Cage lines. It
had all the classic elements of a Nick Cage film.
Nick Cage yelling.
Yeah.
Sawzalls.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah. Either talking real quiet or yelling for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Everything's on fire for some reason.
All right. How about this? What were the positives in this?
I just said them.
So just Nick. That's it.
Okay. So when we were in delivery room, on the last day of the hospital, there was a Ghost Rider marathon on. Where does
a Ghost Rider marathon?
Yes.
Is there just 2 movies?
Sure, they kept showing them back to back.
Well, there was. I think National Treasure came on after that. It was
like
a Nick Cage
marathon,
but we watched both Ghost Riders.
He was writing Washington's Ghost in that one.
Where does this stack compared to those?
I don't know.
This is a question.
I'm
trying to see
how do you respond to that.
Independence. All right.
Okay. Well,
all right. So 3 or 4. You got to pick.
3.5.
Sure. Great. I'm gonna round it up to a 4.
Yeah.
Right.
It rounds up.
Sig fit one.
And I'm done talking about this movie.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Texas Podcast Massacre. Nate, where can they find us?
Yeah, you can find us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. You can tweet us at TXPodMassacre. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneinRadio, Spotify, and all your other podcast platforms.
Yeah. Make sure also on our website, if you're listening to an episode and you want to chat there, please feel free to leave us a comment. We are wanting to chat with all of you about all these wonderful, or if you're Lisa, terrible Nick Cage movies.
Yeah. We should just set up a Nick Cage chat area.
What we're saying is
just like a Discord server.
Just
Nick
get
Cage.
in the cage with us. Is what we're saying. That said, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, Thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.
We're going to have a three-way with the Declaration of Independence.